Chapter 2. Splintered Loyalties. Present. Goliath Command Hub, Planet X Moon Base. The chamber's lights glowed dimly beneath the vaulted ceiling, tactical holomaps casting shifting patterns across anxious faces. Julius Morgan stood at the central dais, shoulders squared though fatigue creased his posture. Before him hovered the rotating wireframe of Planet X and its moons, overlaid with markers of recent events, the downed Unity Scout, drifting escape pods, and the phantom silhouette of an unidentified vessel lurking in deep orbit. Around him, voices rose in tension. "Marshal Orifo is right," said Captain Heron, arms folded. "Unity will interpret mercy as weakness. If we show hesitation, they'll push further." Dr. Alara Vance leaned forward, eyes bright with urgency. "But our warning shot already killed researchers. If we harden now, we risk full-scale retaliation. Our people did not come here to be aggressors." Counselor Kara's gaze shifted between them. Both perspectives hold truth. We need defense, yes, but also credibility. How do we prevent this fracture from devouring the very nest we built? Julius felt a tremor beneath the surface, the alliances once forged in secrecy now cracking under pressure. He raised a hand. The room quieted, though the undercurrent of distrust persisted like static. "We face two crises, an external threat and internal betrayal," he said, voice low but firm. "Our defenses remain on manual safety, no automated retaliation until we identify saboteurs. We will coordinate a joint evacuation of the Unity survivors under strict protocols. Simultaneously, we hunt the mole whose messages urged further provocation." He paused, letting each phrase land. "This is not cowardice, it is prudence. The nest cannot survive if we collapse from within or ignite a war we cannot win." A murmur ran through the chamber. Marshal Orifo bristled, but did not speak. Dr. Vance inclined her head, though uncertainty lingered in her eyes. Julius gestured to Lieutenant Mara Kwon. "Prepare the medical shuttle corridor. Captain Heron, coordinate with Unity flagship for evac window. Dr. Vance and Engineer Rahman, secure logs and communications to trace sabotage origins. Counselor Kara, lead the internal audit team. We proceed at once." As attendants dispersed to their tasks, Julius turned to the holomap. The silhouette of the unidentified vessel still drifted, inscrutable. He sensed the weight of every decision. Each measured act of mercy or suspicion rippled outward, shaping the future of Goliath and its tenuous stance against Unity. Flashback. Early Goliath Council, freighter hold. Half a year earlier, in the cargo hold of a patched freighter, Julius had convened the founding circle: Kara from the Belt, Senator Rel from Ceres, Dr. Vance clutching raw anomaly data, Mara newly sworn in, and a handful of others. Flickering strip lamps illuminated hopeful faces. "We share a vision," he had said then, voice steady amid the dim light. "A frontier beyond Unity's slow bureaucracy. Planet X beckons. Together we can uplift colonies left adrift." He recalled Kara's eager nod, her colony's hardships etched in her eyes. Rel's cautious optimism. Vance's tentative excitement mingled with apprehension. Even Mara's gratitude for a second chance had glimmered. They'd signed NDAs, exchanged encrypted channels, and pledged loyalty. Beneath the zeal lay personal stakes, mineral rights, political leverage, scientific acclaim. Yet Julius had believed that noble purpose would prevail. Now he realized the bargain's hidden threads. Each ally carried motivations unspoken, debts owed, or ambitions smoldering. Those early vows of unity had sown seeds of later discord. Present. Council deliberations continue. Back in the command hub, Julius sensed distrust flicker among his closest advisors. He summoned Dr. Vance privately as others prepared evac protocols. "Alara, your analysis of interference patterns, any clues to communication tampering?" he asked in low tones. She activated a side console. "The sabotage message we received was relayed through 3 different comm relays on separate moons. Each log shows deliberate packet corruption to mask origin. Someone inside Goliath's network. Possibly multiple actors collaborating. We need deeper forensics, but time is short." Julius absorbed the words. "And those urging provocation, were they tied to any faction?" Ex-military? Corporate rivals. She scrolled through decrypted fragments. Hints point to ex-military officers disgruntled by limited authority and possibly a subset of financiers seeking rapid gains through conflict-induced leverage. But evidence remains circumstantial. We must act discreetly to avoid panic. He nodded. We cannot let suspicion slide into paranoia. Begin tracing patterns, but avoid publicizing internal distrust. Meanwhile, we honor the evac. Show Unity our willingness to cooperate. It may buy us breathing space. Flashback, Mars orbital estate, private exchange. Earlier still, on his orbital estate above Mars, Julius had argued with Miranda as dusk spilled over Phobos beyond the window. You speak of secrecy, as if the ends justify the means, she said, voice gentle but firm. What if you are wrong? What if this discovery costs more than you can repay? He had paced, glancing at hollow charts of perturbation data. Jerome hovered, excited. Simon observed quietly, calculating margins. Cynthia sketched distant moons in her pad. I believe in this purpose, Julius insisted. Unity stalls, we act. If we wait, others will seize opportunity or render data meaningless. Miranda placed a hand on his arm. Acting alone invites fracture. You risk not just your name, but the future you claim to build. Promise me, keep your heart tethered to caution. He remembered nodding, but in silence had pressed on. Now, in the council hub, he felt the weight of that promise, echoing in every tense deliberation. Interlude, Unity Investigator Arden. On the Unity flagship Resolute, Commander Arden watched intercepted streams from Goliath's council session. He recognized references to internal sabotage and mercy protocols. He reflected on his own ideals, once sure that transparency and law would prevent conflict, now aware that secrecy and ambition had driven Goliath's drift. He keyed a secure message to High Council advisors, evidence of factions within Goliath seeking escalation. Recommend cautious cooperation to stabilize situation, trace internal actors, and investigate unidentified vessel jointly. Avoid full blockade until we understand internal dynamics, risk of plunging Goliath into chaos with unpredictable outcomes. He paused, aware that hardliners would see this as weakness. Moderates might welcome it. Yet he believed that facilitating Goliath's self-correction could avert broader war. As rescue drones ferried survivors from the Scout, he resolved to press for limited dialogue. If Goliath purged its provocateurs, a path to diplomacy might open. Present. Evacuation Protocol. Lieutenant Mara Kwon oversaw the medical shuttle's departure. Under Julius's directive, unarmed drones escorted the evac corridor. As the hatch opened on the landing pad, 2 Unity med drones guided the survivors, pale, shaken individuals whose lives now balanced on Goliath's goodwill. Mara met them at the airlock, hands raised in a gesture of reassurance. She recalled her own rescue by Julius months before, felt the symmetry. Now Goliath offered mercy. She whispered inwardly, let this act speak louder than our defenses. She recorded biometric data and relayed it to Unity medical systems, ensuring transparency. From the dais, Julius watched the transfer via holoscreen. A pang of empathy and vulnerability, he had placed himself at the edge of revolt for this moment of contact. He hoped Unity would see the gesture not as submission, but as proof that Goliath's cause still upheld higher ideals. Flash forward hint, aftermath unseen. Though unspoken in the hub, Julius harbored an uneasy foresight. The evacuation might forestall immediate reprisal, but internal fractures risked deeper sabotage. He visualized a future council session where blame split factions irreparably and wondered whether the nest could survive such a trial. Similarly, Arden braced for Unity's internal debate, whether to trust Goliath's overtures or leverage turmoil to press demands. Both men, in separate spheres, felt the gravity of this crossroads. Closing moment, Julius's reflection. After the survivors' shuttle departed, Julius remained alone before the holodisplay of the drifting unnamed vessel. Its silent passage through Planet X's distorted fields felt emblematic. Neither Unity nor Goliath could claim full mastery over what lay here. He recalled Miranda's caution, keep your heart tethered to caution. He recalled the founding vow to uplift, and the hidden bargains that now threatened collapse. He tapped a brief private log. Today we chose mercy over might. Yet the fracture within may rend us more deeply than any external threat. I must guide this nest through its own shadows, or see all I built consumed. He closed the log and turned away, steeling himself for the work ahead, tracking traitors, balancing defense and diplomacy, and holding together a coalition born of ambition yet now tested by its own splintered loyalties. Beneath Planet X's alien sky, the nest trembled, not from external firepower alone, but from the fragile bonds that bound its people. Julius stepped into the corridor, resolve tempered by caution, ready to navigate the uncertain path before him. End of Chapter 2.